UTPA men's and women's basketball ready to start their seasons, we give you a full preview. UTPA women's soccer forces overtime in the WAC tournament, and we say goodbye to 5 seniors on the UTPA volleyball team. This is Bronc Country. Hey everyone, and welcome to Bronc Country. I'm Jonah Goldberg. Well, it's finally here. Basketball season. I know. You're looking at your watch and thinking, well, not quite. But don't forget the preseason. And if what the UTPA men's basketball team showed us in their exhibition is a sign of things to come, look out. Bronc's facing off against Texas A&M International. Opening minutes, and it's Ole Miss transfer Janari Josar getting it done in the paint. That makes it 3-0. The Broncs led 8-0 after the first 6 minutes. 6 of those points came on free throws. The Broncs' next basket, Josar from the corner. Plenty more from him coming up. But first, freshman Isaiah Hobbs gets in on the action. Broncs up 13-5. After back-to-back baskets by the Dust Devils, Everett Osborne with a head of steam into the lane. And then we're back to Josar. Broncs up 18-9. 8 minutes to go in the half. The lead is cut to 20-15, and that's when the Broncs went on their run. It starts with Sean Noriega, hits the jumper in his first game action in almost 2 years. Next possession, Osborne with the steal, the pass by Noriega, and the finish by Shaquille Hines. And then it's Mo McDonald with the steal and the dish, and Hines throws it down. A few minutes later, we're back to Noriega for 3. Broncs up 15. And then we move ahead again to watch this steal by Josar turn into a layup by McDonald. Caps a 20-9 run, Broncs up 38-18. The Broncs didn't let up in the second half either, going up by as many as 24 on several occasions, including for the first time on this McDonald layup. Broncs roll 90-72.
We did pretty good in the first half. We played man-to-man defense. They were having trouble guarding us and attacking us. But in the second half, they caught up and they put pressure on us, and we had some trouble with that. So I think we did pretty good in the first half, and second half, we had a lot of pressure on us, and we didn't really deal with it real good. But overall, I mean, W is the best.
Man, it felt good. You know, we've been battling against each other every day in practice, so that gets tedious. But it was good to kind of come together and go against other people. And I feel like as far as effort, we did great, man. I mean, as far as the little things like execution, that's all going to pan out. But what we can control every game is effort. And I feel like we pushed it hard. I mean, there was little bumps in the road like the second half as far as falling up. But we picked it back up, and we're going to keep moving forward.
Good effort. I thought defensively in the first half especially we were really good, and then came out the second half, and they're not in front of us. And young kids, when they're not in front of you where you can talk them through it, they tend to struggle a little more. Too many silly fouls, and our bigs have got to find a way. Although they're youthful in nature, they've got to find a way to play without fouling. And they put themselves in a spot where they had foul trouble. You got to learn how to play with foul trouble. We need you in the game more than we need you fouled out of the game. So, but I thought our ball movement was pretty good. We shared the ball, made some silly turnovers at times, but our transition was much better. And that team's pretty good. I mean, they went to Utah State and gave them all they wanted. So, much better game for us, preparing us, I think, for the season.
Now that the preseason is over, it's time for the real thing. Romeo Villarreal gets us ready for tip-off with a full season preview.
This year's men's basketball team has only 5 returning players from the previous year, but the Broncs' latest recruiting class might just have some of the most talented players this university's ever seen. At the point guard position is Everett Osborne, a 6'4" junior college transfer from Los Angeles Trade Tech. Last season, Everett averaged 13 points, 6 rebounds, and was ranked among the top 100 junior college players in the nation.
Just being an overall versatile player. Not really being able to game plan against me, being able to dribble, attack, pass, shoot, being a leader for my team, rebounding, defend, doing whatever it takes to win, to be honest. Just being an overall round player.
Everett Osborne will probably start at the 1 spot for us. junior college kid from California, great worker, a great defender, a good distributor of the ball, and just an excellent leader.
At shooting guard is 6'4" graduate student Sean Noriega, who sat out last season due to a foot injury. While Noriega is known on the team as being a high-level shooter, he likes to think he's a lot more well-rounded than the average shooting guard.
I'm known for being a shooter, but I like to think I can do everything just to help the team win.
Great shooter, phenomenal athlete, and just waiting to get him back in timing-wise and kind of get it all figured out.
At the small forward position is Ole Miss transfer Janari Josar. Janari left the Rebels of Ole Miss to find an offense that better fits his play style, and he believes that the Bronx motion offense is just the kind of play style he thrives in.
I like the motion offense. That's my favorite. Where you can just screen and, screen the others, get open yourself. And I think everything is pretty good.
Janari Josar, probably a kid that really has shined thus far, rebounding and shooting the basketball. He and Hines are really interchangeable at the 3-4 and the forward spots, but Janari is really one of the premier shooters on our team.
Starting his third season with the Bronx at power forward is junior Shaquille Hines. Hines was named to the coach's All-WAC second team this preseason and is considered by Coach Hipsher to be one of the most well-rounded players on the team.
I'm able to play multiple positions, and I'm able to do more than one thing on the court. Defense, shooting, dribbling, post up. So, I'm going to improve on everything as well.
Shaquille Hines is a veteran there, slasher, offensive rebounder, do all the little things, and becoming a better shooter.
Finally, down in the post for the Bronx is 6'9" center Dan Kimasa from Kigali City, Rwanda. Dan comes to the Bronx from Tampa Bay Christian Academy, where he averaged a double-double his senior year.
My biggest strength, is to contribute by communicating on offense and defense, and low post. Basically you just help out defensively, effectively, and as a team to execute the plays both ends of the court.
And Dan Kamasa right now has, really kind of stepped forward and done a good job for us.
The Bronx run a high-tempo motion offense, and this year, the team will work on keeping a high shooting percentage within that offensive scheme.
Our goals are to be a more proficient offensive team, and again, if you can shoot 47 to 48% above from the field, and 38, 39 above as a team from a three-point line, and 75% as 70% as a team, free throw wise, and then be a positive assist to turnover team. All those factor in to being successful as an offensive team. So, we want to be as efficient and as we can be, but again, there'll be some bumps in the roads, I think, early. But by conference time, we want to be able to execute properly.
The Bronx play primarily in a zone defense, which is geared at not giving away any easy shots to opposing teams.
Defensively, what we want to do is try and control defensive field goal percentage. As you look at a game, if you're a positive assist to turnover team offensively, but you force them into turnovers and you control them defensively with their field goal percentage, you have a chance to be successful. We have more size and length this year, so we should be able to defend the basket better, which is the key to defense, making people score from the perimeter with challenge shots. But again, that takes some time too, building your team defense where guys, again, help each other.
Something to watch out for this season is the Bronx depth, with many strong role players coming off the bench for the team.
Mo McDonald's done a great job this fall for us. Shaq Boga, veteran at the guard spot. The Bigham kid from transfer from Denmark, and then hopefully getting Chris Ekanube healthy, and Adonis, to develop our depth. So, everybody has plenty of time left to improve, plenty of time to decide how much they're going to contribute. I've forgotten one of the primary guards that has really played well this fall is Isaiah Hobbs, our freshman from Florida. So really developing the chemistry, developing the roles I haven't split the team up a lot yet in terms of first, second, but once I start to do that, then you have to play within your role for that team to be successful.
Reporting from the UTPA Fieldhouse, this is Romeo Villarreal.
UTPA women's basketball also getting underway on Friday. Next on Bronc Country, we get you ready for women's basketball season.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential.
We compete on the field with integrity,
on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The ball on the right wing goes for the tie, and he does it again! Nolan straight to the hoop, ties the game! With 3, with 2, the desperation heave goes in! Jack Bogle from half court! Bronx win! Bronx win! Get your Bronx basketball season tickets now by calling 665-2221 or logging on to UTPABronx.com. This commercial is brought to you by Lax Furniture, an official sponsor of the University of Texas Pan American Intercollegiate Athletics.
The UTPA women's basketball team didn't play any open exhibition games this preseason, but that doesn't mean they haven't been working just as hard as anyone to get ready for this week's season opener. We send it back out to Romeo Villarreal for a season preview.
The women's basketball team is looking very strong this year, returning 4 starters from the previous season. The team has been picked second in the preseason coaches poll to win the WAC this season. Now let's look at some of the reasons why that is. In her 3rd season with the Bronx is junior Kaylin Boyd at the point guard position. Kaylin had a strong sophomore season, earning her preseason All-WAC second team honors in the coaches poll.
I'm good at seeing the floor really well, distributing the ball at the right times, and getting to the goal. On defense, I'll have to say my defense is a little rough, so I'm good at pressuring. I'm not consistent at it, but I'm good at it, and being in help side, so that's something I'm good at.
Well, KK Boyd is a very good vocal leader. She gets the ball to the rim. She's improved her three-point shooting, pushes the ball down the floor extremely well, as does Tiandra Dolan. I mean, my point guard position is really deep.
At shooting guard for the Bronx is senior Tonisha Walker. Tonisha is a strong defensive presence for the Bronx with a very aggressive play style that is very effective at disrupting opposing offenses.
My strongest point in the game is defense. Defense, I pressure the ball, make sure they don't have their way in offense.
They're one of our best on-ball defenders, and she is getting her shot down, and she gets it up and down the floor. But again, she's pushed very hard by Troy Swain and Stephanie. But in talking about Tanisha, she just does a lot of good things. She's an ultimate teammate.
At the small forward position is Shantae Goff, last season's WAC Freshman of the Year.
I think I help bring energy to the team. If we're on a fast break, you know, we're a much better running team this year, but when we're on the fast break, I'm usually the first one up the floor ready to get the fast break started. I love to go. So I feel like if people see other people getting out and running, then everybody's going to run.
Shantae Goff runs the floor extremely well, finishes at the rim, shot nearly 40% last year from the three-point line. Just very, very solid player. You know, she was a preseason WAC, all-WAC choice, was Freshman of the Year last year on the newcomer team. So she's got a lot of good things going for her.
At the power forward position is freshman Hildur Karchinsdottir from Iceland. Hildur has playing time with the Icelandic national team, and she offers the Bronx some much-needed size in the paint.
I'm gonna try, of course, play defense and help the team where I can, focus on rebounding and attacking the basket.
Played on the national team in Iceland, has come over here, has adapted extremely well, shoots the three ball really well, is getting it to the rim better, but again, pushed very hard by Raquel Preston, who gets it to the rim and rebounds.
Reprising her role from last year is center Brittany Bush. Brittany is a strong defensive player, which landed her on last season's WAC all-defensive team.
Defensively, I feel like I handle the block well. Like, I don't just let them catch easily, so I think that's one thing I do good. It also comes from the guards getting up and pressuring the ball, so it makes my job easier.
Just very solid, finishing at the rim better. Her shot from the short corner is extremely good. Really good defender, one of our top, if not the top rebounder, but again, pushed every day by Laura Van Tilburg, who continues to improve, and she'll be a factor in the coming years.
With the Broncs still being a relatively small team, Coach Tidwell hopes to capitalize on the Broncs' speed in the offense.
Offensive side, we're going to run a 4-out, 1-in. We're going to be moving, cutting. We're going to set screens for curls, flares, fades, straight cuts, basket cuts. We're going to try to get the ball and push it and get it to the baseline, get it to the rim, and just make a lot of good things happen, and we will definitely let the 3-ball fly.
Coach Tidwell also hopes to capitalize on the Broncs' speed on the defensive end by running a high-pressure defense this season.
Well, the defensive philosophy that I have, we're definitely going to pressure. We're going to up-tempo. We're going to get in the passing lanes. We're going to trap. We're going to press, and we're going to try to rebound with authority, kick it out, and get into our transition game, which is not only we run a primary break and a secondary break, but I love primary breaks because that's pretty easy layups.
Coach Tidwell and his team are after a winning season this year, but with a very hard schedule this season, it won't be easy.
We're after the postseason. We're after a winning season. We're playing the toughest schedule in the history of UTPA. When you play Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Baylor, DePaul, New Mexico, Virginia Commonwealth, all on the road. And then you have other teams coming in. Texas A&M Corpus is picked high in their league. Houston Baptist, Incarnate Word. We're going to have a very, very tough schedule. New Jersey Institute of Technology, a home and home. Eastern Michigan coming in from, they were in the WNIT last year. So we have our hands full, and we know that, but we're trying to get prepared and meet those challenges.
Reporting from the UTPA Fieldhouse, this is Romeo Villarreal.
Thursday was a busy day for UTPA women's soccer. In the morning, they learned that College Sports Madness had picked Andrea Barrera as the WAC Freshman of the Year, and both Barrera and Amy Intulai as all-WAC second-team honorees. That night, the Broncs had a WAC Tournament Quarterfinals matchup with third-seeded Utah Valley, a team that had beaten the Broncs 5-0 earlier in the season. So the Broncs had no chance, right? Wrong. The Broncs played their hearts out, clogging the midfield and holding strong along the back line. Strong play especially by Marcela Ramirez and Sheridan Bacanic, and a great game by Erica Gonzalez in net. About 9 minutes left in the first half. From inside the box, and Gonzalez makes the stop. 73 minutes in, still scoreless, but a free kick coming up for the Broncs. Frida Farstad Eriksson winds up and fires a nice hard ball towards the net, but Jessica Duffin in front for the save. A little over a minute later, the Wolverines on the attack. Sydney Fitzpatrick ahead to Lexi Robeson, who scores to make it 1-0. The Broncs? Undeterred. Just over 4 minutes later, watch Andrea Barrera. Great angle past her defenders, and then she finds the back corner. Barrera had the first goal, the first home goal, the first WAC goal, and now the first postseason goal in program history, match tied at 1. So we go to overtime, 96th minute. Robeson with the shot and a diving save by Gonzalez. Minute later, Tori Smith gets the rebound off her shot and feeds Kim Stratford for the game winner. Broncs fall 2-1. The last home match of the season is always an emotional day, even more so when a third of your team is set to graduate. Coming up on Bronc Country, it's senior day for UTPA volleyball. The UTPA volleyball team played its final home match last week, meaning it was time for senior day. Yvonne Herrera has the story.
The Broncs gave it their all one last time in the final home game of the season. For 5 seniors, it would be the last time they would play on the UTPA court again. 2 of the Broncs seniors shared how they have grown personally and strategically.
I've grown a lot because I know when I first got here, I was scared, and now I just feel comfortable and I just work hard all the time.
I transitioned from a middle to an outside,
So I think my game has changed, grown a lot, and being a person has made me mature better.
Head coach Brian Yale expressed his thoughts about the departing group of seniors.
I'm proud of them all. I want them to go out into the world after the volleyball career is over and be as successful off the court as they have been on.
The final home game of the season concluded with a Senior Day celebration honoring the players for their efforts on the team. For Bronc Country, I am Ivan Herrera.
As for the match, this was a tight one most of the way. Opening set, Bronx down 5-6. Not anymore. Haley Durham ties it. A little later on, the Bronx lead is 13-10. Make it 14-10 on another kill for Durham, but the Aggies storm back to take the set. So we go to the second set, and it's Macy Singleton getting in on the action. Bronx up 9-6. The Aggies come back to tie it at 22, but De'Ara Reynolds shows off that right arm. And now it's set point. Watson finishes the job. Match tied at 1. Third set. Tell me if this sounds familiar. The Bronx are now up 9-6 on that block by Watson and Maria Kleefolk. And then the Bronx extend their lead to 4 on this Durham kill. It's 13-9, but the Aggies come back to take the set and win the match 3-1.
We put a game plan into action. The kids believed that this was going to be their day. They really battled. That's a team that and we did it at third place. Unfortunately, we gave them a little bit of life. Had a little bit of a lull there in that first set, and they took advantage of it. That's what good teams do. I mean, they've been an established program for a long time. That's what we're striving for. But we're close. We're right there, and that's the thing that we need to realize and remember going forward. That if we will do that, the rest of the way, we're going to win some matches.
Do you want to help our student athletes prepare for excellence in life? Then join the Bronc Athletic Fund today. You can become a member of the BAF for just $50 a year. All of the money raised goes directly to student-athlete scholarships, so visit BroncAthleticFund.com today to see how you can make a meaningful impact on the lives of student-athletes.
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential.
We compete on the field with integrity,
on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The ball on the right wing goes for the tie, and he does it again! Nolan straight to the hoop, ties the game! With 3, with 2, the desperation heave goes in! Jack Bogan from half court! Bronx win! Get your Bronx basketball season tickets now by calling 665-2221 or logging on to UTPAAthletics.com. This commercial is brought to you by Lax Furniture, an official sponsor of the University of Texas Pan American Intercollegiate Athletics.
Here's what's coming up for the Bronx. Men's basketball opens the season on Friday at home against Wayland Baptist, one of the top 25 teams in the NAIA, before visiting UTSA on Monday. Women's basketball opens up at the Maggie Dixon Classic, facing off against New Mexico, host DePaul, and Texas A&M, before coming home Wednesday to face Texas A&M Kingsville. Volleyball closes out the regular season at Kansas City and Chicago State, while cross country gears up for the NCAA South Central Regional Championships. We want to thank you for stamping your passport in Bronc Country this week. Schedule another visit for next week. But until then, go Bronx!
We pursue excellence in the classroom and strive to achieve our potential.
We compete on the field with integrity,
on the court with respect,
and in the pool with distinction.
We are strong leaders in our community and gain values from our biggest fans.
We continue the legacy of commitment to our universities, to our coaches, to our teammates, and most importantly to you.
We learn, we compete, we inspire.
We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The ball on the right wing goes for the tie, and he does it again! Nolan straight to the hoop, ties the game! With 3, with 2, the desperation heave goes in! Jack Bogan from half court! Bronx win! Bronx win!
Get your Bronx basketball season tickets now by calling 665-2221 or logging on to UTPAAthletics.com. This commercial is brought to you by Lax Furniture, an official sponsor of the University of Texas Pan American Intercollegiate Athletics.